Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something very different and something that one of you guys recommended that I try my hand at, and that is a budget plan with me. And I decided instead of just doing what I do to budget, that I would do kind of various different things that I feel like you could do, spanning from just like a simple type of budget planning type thing that I've seen to more in-depth type budget planning styles, if that makes any sense. It's hard to explain without doing. I'll put it that way. So I'm going to do 3 different types of spreads that I feel like you could use all together as like 3 working systems as one, or you could do them as individuals. And I feel like this might be a good thing for you guys to find out a way that you might want to use your notes page in your planner, or even your monthly view, because I feel like those are 2 things that people are always like, I don't know what to do with those pages and stuff like that. But I'm also going to do a weekly view that's focused mainly on like budget type stuff if you guys want to be a planner and you're just like, I don't have activities that I do during the day. So I'm gonna do some various type stuff. But let's start out with this notes page. Now obviously this is the older planner. This is not this year's planner. It's an old Erin Condren, but I feel like well, the circles don't matter anymore because I don't think the new Erin Condren has circles anyway. So this is the lined view with the little border at the top. And I did do a kind of like practice run. So if you see me like reference in the back, that's just what I'm doing. So how I'm going to set this up is actually with some washi. You can obviously use any washi, but I have here some Simply Gilded washi. So what I'm going to do is not use orange, because like that doesn't make sense in my head as to why I would use orange. Let's use lavender. I don't know why I pulled out orange. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to section this off into 4 different areas, if that makes any sense. And I think I did 6 lines and then like about 6 lines. So I'm going to put in this strip, and what I'm doing is, this is very similar to how I use my notes page kit to track things, but it's not using a kit, and it does have a few other categories in it. And obviously you don't have to use these categories, but these were just the ones that I could think of. But I do think sectioning your notes page into some sort of like little sections or categories is a really good way to handle it, because I feel like one big lined piece of paper is kind of daunting. So we'll just put in these strips here and then have that be done. And then what I did was used this Erin Condren book to pull in some like labels. And this is the Create, Motivate, Inspire one. She doesn't have this one anymore, but she has ones that are like similar to it. So if you guys are interested in that type of thing, actually I'm not going to use that one. Let's use these. So I'm just going to use these, and I just need 4 of them. So these are going to be like the little headers for each of my sections. So the first section will be a payday section, where I would use this to track, and I do use this to track how much I get weekly or for each paycheck if you get paid twice in a month, or 3 times, 4 times, however your job does it. So then these little payday penguins are from Planning Roses. And then the next section I would use for marking birthdays or gifts. I feel like that's something that if you could budget for, like if you could plan out that in your budget and know that that's coming, that would be kind of good and nice and helpful. I know it's something that I struggle with, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have somewhere to go for someone's birthday this weekend, and I didn't think about that. So these are from Paws Paper. And then the next section that I would do would be a general bills like maybe this would be like the bills that you want to focus on paying down for that month, or if you're like starting a new bill, or maybe the bills that aren't due every single month. I don't know, some people have bills that you do every other month, something like that, I don't know. And then this last one I would use for savings, so I'm going to use this little Chloe dino from the samplers. And then this was a sampler from Gabriela Inez Designs. I'll try and link her if I can find her. But yeah, so that's how I would set this up into 4 different categories. Obviously you could do different bills, or like if you had a spouse, you could do 2 other like paydays or something like that. I don't know, but I think sectioning off like this, and then even if you are that type of person, you could put another strip down the center and then have 4 other categories. So that's just an idea on how I would do your notes page. And then moving on over to this area, the monthly page, what I would do is I would first take washi and I would section off the days that aren't in the month, because personally it would drive me absolutely nuts to have days that look like they're part of the month but they're not. So I'm going to use the same color washi tape to mark off the days that aren't in the month. 31st. And then there's nothing down at the bottom, so that's kind of nice. And then if you wanted to get decorative with it, you could do like a little washi banner or something like that, or you could even buy a kit. Whatever you please. And then what I would do is just buy some like plain flags. I have these from Chaotic Sticker Co. And I would just go ahead and put these in for the various like bills that you have. Or no, for the paydays that you have, sorry. And I like flags for paydays because you can put them this way, or you could put them down from the top. I really like the kits that have the paydays that are like this, but if you wanted to, in like this view, to track the like amount, say you weren't using the notes page kit to track the amount, I would do it this way, and then you could write payday in the flag and then the amount next to it, or vice versa. So I'll do 2 different examples for you guys. So you could just do payday like this, or you could do payday out the side and then put the amount in the flag, or you could do it the other way. I just do this so that you guys know what I'm talking about. Visuals are always better. You could do it this way. And you could even get like a colored pencil if you do get flags like this. These are on matte paper and they're white, obviously. So if you wanted to track like your spouse's paydays as well, you could color them different colors depending on whose payday it is. So that's how I would handle that. And then as far as bills go, I have these from Libbie Co. These are monthly labels, and she had them for a $2 Tuesday, but I'm sure you can still get them in her shop. They're sized perfectly for the monthly view. So I'm just going to use a few of these purple ones to show you guys how I feel like you could go about marking your bills. So obviously you could put more than one on a day. But if you don't want it to, if you weren't willing to purchase icons, you could put the name of the bill, like say rent on the first. Why is my Sharpie not working right now? That's so not nice. Let me see if I can get it to work. The Libbie Co stickers are vinyl, so you need to use Sharpie. There we go. So you could do rent and then put the amount. I don't know how much you guys pay for rent, but like that's cheap for where I live. I wish places had that amount. Or let's see, I pay my glam planner on the 11th, so you could do that and put an icon. I'm just gonna use one of these, but like I'm thinking more of an icon that would symbolize it on top of it, and then write what it is if you wanted to then use this to track the amounts. So you could do glam planner. This is kind of similar to my options for paydays. And then what was the other? I had thought of another thing. Oh, you could do the same thing. Let's see, when I'm just gonna say the 16th because I already flipped this. You could do the same thing and put in another like icon of some sort. I'll just use this little check. And instead, like if it was a gas bill, like you could use an icon that obviously shows that it's gas and then put in the amount. I don't know, I just made up that number. And then the only other thing that I thought that you could do is track your savings on the side. So you could just do savings, and then I kind of do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wow, why was I counting to 6? So there's 5 weeks, and because I get paid on Fridays, I would put savings in on that day. So I would just go by the week. You would probably want to leave more space than this. And then you could just track what you put into savings if you weren't doing the savings on the notes page, or you could do it in both places if you wanted to. But yeah, and then you could also put like a strip of washi in between here, and then you could put in like if you need to buy something, or if you're planning to service your car, or like expenses that you're thinking that you're gonna end up using this month, you could put in here. I don't think that's how you spell expenses, but we're gonna run with it. So that's my thought process on the monthly view. It ends up looking really simple, but I feel like it's a good way to kind of like look at your whole month, whereas this might be just kind of a specifics thing, like where you put in the numbers. I view this more as like a numbers thing. And then for the weeks, this is what I came up with. So this is obviously going to be a bit in-depth, so unless you're like really trying to focus on your finances, I don't know how realistic this would be to just have like a full planner where you just do this. I think it would be nice though to kind of incorporate some of these things into your regular planning. So like maybe you consolidate all this stuff into one box, and then the top 2 boxes are for your activities, or you consolidate it into 2 boxes and 1 box is for your activities. All depends on you. So because I'm a planner and I can't help it, I feel like I need to put it in a quote box of some sort. So a lot of shops have the possibility for you to buy like sheets of various quote boxes, and these are all black and white. These are from Paper Nation, and so obviously you could do like different ones for various weeks. I feel like that's a good way to like not have to buy sticker kits. And then the other thing that I came up with was if I'm focusing on finances, I would be thinking about going on a no spend. I feel like that would be a good thing to track. So I would put in a habit tracker. Those are from Scribble Prints Co. And then I actually have these no spend stickers from JB Planning. So I would put one on there to kind of track that. And then this is a weekly tracker from Jax and Pepper. And I would use this to mark my like daily spending. Actually, I think I would use a label of some sort to track daily what I'm spending, or like a label to title it daily spending, and then just put that in there. And then obviously you could put something down here that's personal related or something like that in there. Anyways, I do love weekend banners. So this is from Sweet Kawaii Design. I feel like it's just something that you could add on to your spread to just give it a little something something. If it's important to you, go for it. If it's not, then I don't think it's necessary, but I thought since we were doing a weekly spread, I would pull out a weekend banner. And that's another thing that you can easily, wow, why can't I center this? This is another thing that you can easily buy a sheet of and have various colors to pick from if you want to keep things simple. This one's from Sweet Kawaii Design. The next thing that I would do is track work for the week. So I don't know what colors I was like thinking about, so we're just gonna go crazy and use various different colors. So we'll do blue, I guess, and I'm kind of assuming that like whoever this is working 5 days a week, So we'll do that. These are from Allycat's shop, but a ton of shops I know do work labels of some kind. So I would put these down at the bottom of each day, or you could put up at the top. I view things as little things, so this is just kind of how my brain works, but you could obviously do, oh no! You could obviously put them wherever you want. But just to track your hours at work, I feel like budget-wise, that kind of makes sense to track hours at work if you get paid hourly. If you don't get paid hourly, then maybe just marking that you went to work that day as opposed to like taking time off, or if you get PTO, paid time off, you could just write that in. So I would mark that somehow. And then I do have this sheet here from the Organizing Companion, and so I would mark bills with bill due stickers. I do like the bigger ones because it definitely calls attention to it. So say I had a bill on the 1st of September and I don't know, the 28th. For budget planning, I would say keeping things kind of straight across the board makes the most sense, because then you can go, okay, what bills do I have this week? Okay, there they are, type of thing. And then the rest of the stuff that I have is kind of various ways to mark bills. So this is how I would mark bills that are kind of important, or you don't have an icon for it, or anything like that. But here I have some things that might be like kind of intermittent, like things that you have to purchase and stuff like that. So like prescriptions or medicine or vitamins or anything like that. I feel like that's something that is an expense that sometimes creeps up on people. So I would mark that by just grabbing like a label of some sort. And then this I would do above bills, things like this that kind of like pop up, and just stick that in there so that you know, okay, on this day I spent this amount of money if you're taking it out of your savings and stuff like that. The other thing is like rent or like any house things that you want to do, like say you needed to call a plumber, or I don't know, you wanted to paint your house, or you know, even just rent and stuff like that. You could put in the bill section, like next to the bill dues, and say, okay, I had to pay my rent this day. Or I feel like another thing that kind of comes up randomly is that like if you wanted to go to dinner, so you could say, okay, like this week, this night, I'm going on Saturday, and that's the only night we're gonna eat out, and you could just have a full sheet. Like this is from JB Planning, but a lot of other shops have the like option to purchase a full sheet of stickers, so you can limit yourself to eating out one night a week, and you know that that sticker means that it's that night. As far as cars go, they do random things and need service randomly, so you could say like, oh, I need to service my car, or I need to get a car wash, or I had to get gas this day, you know, things like that, where you could use the same sticker for various things, and then you could write in what it was, like you put gas and then the amount. If you have animals, they're expensive, they require things, so we have to go, I think, every 2 weeks to buy food or crickets or fish food or anything like that, so that's another expense that you have to track. Same with groceries. I feel like doing some sort of label type system where you could write in what it is that you were getting. So these again are from JB Planning, who sadly no longer shop, so I feel bad that I'm using her stickers, but I have a lot of her stickers. So you could put in groceries, and then like if you're a family, I feel like, well, I don't know, everything's so inflated here. I feel so bad because I live in LA, but let's say like $60, maybe more like $100 honestly here. And then I also pulled these out for like a gym membership. This is another bill type thing. Even if you wanted to use bills and you wanted to like put in an icon to signify what it is, and then just write gym and 20, and then you can mark it off when it's paid. If you wanted to go shopping, or if you didn't want to go shopping and you ended up going shopping, because we all know that happens, again, you could just put in a label to kind of track that that happened and how much you spent. maybe you were really good and you only spent $30. Same with like Target stuff. I feel like having little icons like that where you could just throw them in and be like, okay, I know that on this day I'm going to spend this much and this day I'm spending this much. Same with like getting your nails done. You wanted to get your nails done once a week, or like not once a week, oh my gosh, please. Once a month, and so you're like, oh well, this is the week that I want to do it, so you budget it out and you're like, I'm going on Saturday, I don't care. So, you know, marking all that stuff. Getting coffee, I think even without having to put like a label, you could just write next to it like, okay, I went and I got Starbucks, so that was $5, and this day was another $5. I would track things like that of like adding what it was and the amount and everything, and then I think it would be really good over here in the corner at the bottom if you weren't going to use this as a kind of, what's it called? Like if you weren't going to put anything personal down in this corner, you could put a sticker like this or a half box or anything, and you could have this be your total for the week, like total that you spent, and tally it all up there. So this is like obviously a lot for 1 week, or maybe it's not, but you could like put it over here, add up, like do it daily here, and then put the total for the week, adding all of that up. This is another option for dinner out if you didn't want to do this. This is kind of like a date night type sticker, but you could do something like this too. A lot of shops have stickers like this. This is from Planning Roses. These options here, I just brought out a lot of stickers that I like think help in planning, other than like the ones that I've been pulling from the Erin Condren book. I feel like if you don't want to purchase sticker kits, this is a really good option, but anything like this mason jar is perfect for marking your savings for the week, but just little sheets like this where you could use them throughout various weeks. So that's my idea on budget planning. I hope you got something out of it. I know that it's not perfect, but they were things that as I was like thinking on how I would set things up like that, I thought that this was a pretty good system. So let me know down below if you guys liked this, if you guys are going to use any of this stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!